Okay, if this table over here, if someone could volunteer to read the fourth category of Catholic social teaching, options for the poor and vulnerable.
Okay, a basic moral test is our most vulnerable members are paired. In a society marked by deepening divisions between the rich and poor, our tradition recalls the story of the Last Judgment.
And instructs us to
And
put...
instructs us to put the needs of the poor and vulnerable.
Okay, thank you.
Children bear the image of their parents both physically and psychologically and spiritually, so in all those ways they representative, if you want, of their parents. So in a similar way, all of us, children of God, represent God, we bear the likeness of God.
Before we understand Jesus' preferential option for the poor, we have to understand God's preferential option for the poor. God incarnates himself as Jesus among a poor family in a poor village, and Jesus himself preaches among the poor and preaches about the poor.
This is how God is. He is a God who had a special love for those who had no one to turn to. Not because they're righteous, not because they're the most holy and most saintly, but because they are in need. And God comes to their rescue.
In Matthew 25, Christ tells us, "Whatsoever you do with the least of my brothers and sisters, you do unto me." And it's such a beautiful reminder for us that the people we serve who are in poverty, who are in need, are in fact the face of Christ. And because of that, have so much to teach us.
So when we go to encounter the poor, let us encounter them as a fellow poor person. Not from a perspective of superiority where they're in the dark, I'm in the light, or all of these things. No. I grow in my own humanity when I encounter the person of the poor.
Who are the poor in our society? The poor are those people who are really, really marginalized amongst us. The most vulnerable. Those who are forgotten in society.
Here in America, I don't think anyone can say, wow, I do not know what's happening in those other parts of the world. But it's not enough to know. We should allow what we see, what we hear and know really touch us. And for us to have that mindset, I may be an American, the person who just lost his whole family is from Syria. But at this point of suffering, we are one.
The preferential option for the poor calls us to address both immediate needs and systemic problems, to look both at the person in front of us and to give them what they need in that moment, but also to say, why is this person in this place? What has happened in our society? What are the larger issues at work, and how can we address those larger issues?
When we see the situations to which the poor are subjected, dehumanizing, humiliating, you could say that those situations manifest the lack of love. Lack of love from other people, lack of love from society, for they did not choose to be poor. They are made poor by others and by systems and structures in society.
In our political lives, in our economic lives, in our social lives, whatever we do, we should always put the poor first.
People try to make caring for the poor out to be something very difficult or complicated or hard to understand. It's not. It basically means a few things. First of all, being charitable to the poor, giving to organizations that care for the poor, giving directly to the poor. It means loving the poor as our brothers and sisters. It means coming to know them, touching them, holding them, shaking their hands, and and really physically coming in contact with them, because otherwise, how would we show our love?
What a shame if a community claims to be the bearer of the good news, for that community not to live it, not to embody it. You know? And so we ask the question, you know, if the church will not do it, then who else will?
God created us as people to be sacred, to worship Him, but also to be social beings, to love and to live in community and care.
Before we understand Jesus'
Solidarity is based on our common belief that everything was created by God. And so,
Okay, if someone could read from this table, solidarity.
Economy must be unserved people, not the other way
We're going to
around.
go back to work. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Work is more than a way of making a living. It is a form of continuing participation in God's creation.
So we're reading solidarity. I skipped one by accident.
Oh,
We'll get back to dignity of work, rights of workers.
Want to read that, want somebody else?
So if you can read solidarity.
We are one human family, whatever our national, racial, ethnic, and economic, ideological differences. We are brothers and sisters, keepers, whatever they may be, loving our neighbor as global dimensions in the shrinking world. At the core of the virtue of solidarity is the purest of justice and peace. Blessed Pope Paul VI taught that if you want peace, work for justice. The gospel calls us to be peacemakers. Our love for all our sisters and brothers demands that we promote peace in a world surrounded by violence and conflict.
Thank you.
all creatures are related to one another in this one beautiful community called creation.
Solidarity is, first of all, perhaps what it's not. It's more than just a feeling. Solidarity is a commitment for the welfare of the other one. When we see each other as my brother, my sister, wherever they are, regardless of race, nationalities, belief, we are one human family.
It's being able to reach out to someone and for them to know that you truly care about them, that you're touched by their experience and they're touched by yours. It isn't one where we do something for someone, but we do it with them, and then we grow together to be closer.
One of the scripture passages that illustrate for me the principle of solidarity is in St. Paul's image of the body of Christ. When one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers. When one part of the body rejoices, the whole body rejoices.
Being church, body of Christ, means that we are not only connected to Christ, but that connectedness to Christ means we are connected also to the very mission of Christ, which is a mission of solidarity. And so the body of Christ must be attentive to the contemporary ways by which the human person is really trampled upon.
I'm very lucky to witness some of the great works that the church does overseas through religious orders, through dioceses, through bishops' conferences, we work through that network of the church throughout the world to reach the poorest of the poor.
Solidarity means I am always in relationship, not only with myself, but with God and with everyone that God loves, especially the poor. But if I am in solidarity, I will also try to go to the roots of what makes people suffer. And I will be willing, as an act of solidarity, to do what I can, according to my state of life, my expertise, to help solve those things.
Yes, we are very busy people. We need to be very clear on our priorities. When we love someone, we'll take steps to express that love and we'll prioritize that person. So if we have our priorities clear, we'll have time to pray first of all, because prayer always is going to lead us to action.
We have this wonderful tool, social media. We have social communications, we have television, we have internet. No one now can claim that he or she has not received any information about what's happening in other parts of the world.
Awareness will lead us to action. This action could take place at a local level with advocacy and also with our finances, our resources.
If we could have greater solidarity throughout the world, I think that would be the peaceful place. That would be the place where, frankly, the Lord has wanted us to come to create that greater kingdom on earth.
If someone from this table could read to us from the dignity of work and the rights of workers.
The economy must serve people, not the other way around. Work is more than a way to make a living. It is a form of continuing participation in God's creation. If the dignity of work is to be protected, then the basic rights of workers must be respected. The right to productive work, to decent and fair wages, to the organization and joining of unions, to private property, and to economic initiative.
Thank you.
For us as believers, the dignity of work comes out of the whole theology of creation. In Genesis, we see that God has made creation and entrusted to us the continuation of His work.
Work is God's gift to us. We're able to use the different gifts that God's given us, physical gifts, spiritual, mental gifts, to make the world a better place.
Because the church recognizes that every person is created in God's image and likeness and therefore has inherent dignity, we also recognize that work exists for people. People don't exist for work. So recognizing the rights of workers is one of the ways that we honor the dignity of every person.
Among the things that we need to uphold are the just wage, safe working conditions, and the possibility of the worker to participate in the fruits of his labor.
Catholic teaching holds that workers have the right to dignified work, as well as to time for leisure and rest, and they have the right to benefits such as sick leave and maternity leave and paternity leave and health care. Workers have a right to adequate support in their retirement, and also to choose to form unions if that's what they like to do. Catholic teaching also holds that workers have responsibilities. They have the responsibility to provide a fair day's work for a fair day's wage. Managers and supervisors and employers can make decisions in their workplaces that uphold the rights of workers, that provide decent wages and a safe working environment.
We have situations here, right in here in our neighborhood, where we've seen people that were not employed. And the best thing is when they can the neighborhood gets better, they feel great about themselves, and there's a harmony that's created that really shows the dignity of work.
Sometimes it can be easy to forget the workers who are involved in producing the goods that we consume, so it can be helpful to think back. If you take a cup of coffee, thinking all the way back through the roasters and to the farmers who actually grew the beans, there are many workers in that process, and our decisions impact them.
It's important